region. For more than 5 centuries ago, very little has changed as far as rich cultural practices and heritage that everyone here is proud of. Gidarumpa, as the household is popularly called, sit on about 10 hectares of land and compose of 8 royal courts in Hausa called Fada. For the first-time visitor to the palace, the traditional designs on the walls will merely connote beauty, but it is much more than that.
It connotes many things. It depends on the place. Sometimes it's a history, just like murals on the wall. You will see the sword, the knife, the calabash, this and that, and you see the geometric design, the star. You know, most of the design are out of the star formation, you know, as it is in geometry. And then that star is very important astrologically because normally it's a northern star, which is part of the ruling, is guided by one of the ruling stars, Zuhal in Arabic, they call it Zuhal.
Formation of Emir's collection of regalia is remarkable. The colorful designs on the flying gown called Babariga means a lot.
There is a flying gown, Babariga, that has a decoration called 2 knives. The 2 knives is a sword used during the lifetime of the prophet. So it signifies, it has some meaning to
It's
it.
history.
Yes. And there is magic square. You see about 5 boxes, which if you cycle them, it will give you 3 by 3 matrix. It's a magic square.
It will interest you to know that even the process of sewing this regalia requires specific times and conditions.
In fact, even the time upon which they will start sewing the gown, they have to consider good time astrologically with sort of incantation or recitation of the verses or the names of Allah. So it is not only for, in fact, it is more for protection than aesthetics.
The turban itself tells who the bearer is.
This kind of turban tells you this is an imam, or this is a prince, or this is a title holder, and that. Anybody you see with 2 rabbit ear on his turban is a princely title holder, or even the emir.
One unique, valuable object of culture is a twin spear, which is peculiar to the emir of Kano.
It is only the emir that uses the twin spears. He's the only one that wears the ostrich feather shoe. So he's the only one that uses bow and arrow to walk around.
Other symbols such as trumpets and drums are mainly for communication purpose.
The title of Eze Ndibo testifies the presence of Igbo people in Kano. It is also a suggestion that, as diverse as Nigerian tribes, cultural appreciation could give way to tolerance and harmony. Igbo's presence is adequately felt here. In this palace of Igwe in Kano, one assumes he is in Igbo land.
We have an association called non-indigenous here. When the former governor came in, he said it's not acceptable to him that we're all one, that we should change it. That we cannot say we are non-indigenous in Kano, as far as we are Nigerians. And we thought he didn't mean it. Then we now move ahead and change it to ethnic.
Specific features makes Igwe's palace uniquely attributed to him. Although there is no regard to particular color, Igwe's regalia are of many types and for different outings and events.
In terms of clothes, we celebrate Ofala. That is yearly events, signifying the number of years you have been on the throne. We have a special regalia for that. And occasions also has its own. Then having meetings with your cabinet members also has its own. If you are Igwe, your cap will be different from a chief. It cannot be the same with chief because it's the Igwe, the Eze that crowns chiefs. That's why you see red caps of so many Igbo indigenes who are prominent Igbo men.
The seats, specially made for Igwe, bear symbol of lions, beautifully decorated to indicate being a warrior.
Initially, before you become a king in Igbo, you must be a conqueror. And a lion is you know what lion means. So for somebody to sit on this type of seats, he's a warrior.
In most occasions, Igwe is noticed as holding a staff as a symbol of authority.
I have the bigger one. Those ones are there. But those are the things to confirm that you are. But if you look at my picture there, you will see it, the one I'm standing with. That is the staff of office. We have our tradition in the East, which we are representing here. And for us being the Ezes outside Igbo land, is to let our people, our children, know of our culture, because so many Igbos were outside.
A visit to this palace, beads treatment on Igwe's neck, is obviously among the aesthetics royal items that grace every visitor.
In virtually all places, marriage remains the only union that legalizes cohabitation of man and woman in which procreation happens. Even though marriage is among universal cultures, the way and manner it is being conducted vary from one culture to another. Some years back, in most parts of northern Nigeria, wedding ceremonies and processes were merely simple in the way it attracts resources. Essential event such as wedding prayer is to hold in bride's home, while reception used to take place in any available spacious venue to dine and wine with friends and relatives.
In the years before now, we need few representatives of both families, and they come. The marriage is contracted based on is a ritual.
Today, a lot of things are
Masu kallon mu assalamu alaikum, barkanmu da yammaci, sanunmu da kasancewa da gidan talabijin na NTA Kano. Ga cikakkun labaran tare da ni Faida Idris Kawuna. Rashin ingantattun hanyoyi na daga cikin manyan kalubalen da ke hana ci gaban karkara, tare da rage damar manoma su kai kayayyakinsu kasuwa da samun riba mai gwabi. Don magance wannan matsala, gwamnatin jihar Kano ta kaddamar da ayyukan tituna na miliyoyin naira domin hada ƙauyuka da birane a fadin jihar. Abdullahi Mustapha na da ci gaban rahoton.
Mafi yawan yankin karkarar jihar Kano garuruwa ne na manoma. Mafi yawan mazauna waɗannan ƙauyuka kan yi noma rani da damuna, wanda shine babbar hanyar su ta dogaro da kai. Sai dai jigilar kayayyakin amfanin gonan daga yankunan karkarar zuwa kasuwanni ya kasance wani babban kalubale kusan shekaru 10. Garuruwan da ke kan hanyar Kura zuwa Kubaraci zuwa Madobi sun fuskanci wahala sosai sakamakon lalacewar hanyar da kuma karewar gada akan kogin Calawa.
Muna yin amfani da kwale-kwale ne gurin haurewa amfanin gonanmu, ko ma dai wace irin mu'amala yanzu.
Hakan ne ya sanya gwamnatin jihar Kano ta bada aikin gina titin mai tsawon kilomita 14, yayin da tuni aka kammala sake gina gadar.
Amfanin wannan hanya ko kuma hanya da gada ba zai misaltu ba a gurin mutanen wannan yanki.
Muka ta bibiya tun a waccan tsohuwar gwamnatin, Allah cikin ikonsa ba a sami ba sai wannan gwamnati ta abba gida.
Haka kuma gwamnatin ta bada aikin titi mai tsawon kilomita 70 da ya hada Madobi da Yako da Kafin Miyaki da kuma Akiru, wanda shi ma ya dade cikin mummunan yanayi.
Wallahi sai da mutane sun zaga akan hanyar nan ma ta daina biyuwa.
Dan hada karin garuruwa, an bada aikin titi mai tsawon kilomita 23 daga Rogo zuwa Bari zuwa Falgore zuwa Mahangi da ke jihar Katsina, kuma a halin yanzu aikin yayi nisa.
Kuma duk yan nan cewa ma ba wai garin Mahangi kawai ba, har garin Kafir lokacin gwamnati tana manna da wannan abu da gwamnatin Kano ta yi.
Ana sa ran idan ya kammalu, wannan titi da sauran hanyoyi da ake ginawa za su rage asarar amfanin gona da ake yi a yayin kowace kaka da kuma rage kaurar jama'a daga yankunan karkara zuwa birane. Abdullahi Mustapha, labaran NTA.
A ƙarƙashin tsarin bunƙasa ƙasa na shugaban ƙasa Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gwamnatin tarayya ta gudanar da taron tattaunawa a Kano domin tantance matakin farko na shirin samar da kayayyakin gona, wato kayayyakin aikin gona ga manoma, tare da shirin fara zagaye na biyu. Taron ya haɗa manyan masu ruwa da tsaki domin duba nasarorin da aka samu, darussan da za a iya ɗauka da kuma inganta yadda ake aiwatar da shirin domin ƙara tallafawa manoma da bunƙasa samar da abinci a ƙasa. Awal Salisu na da cikakken rahoton.
Taron tattaunawar da asusun raya harkokin noma na gwamnatin tarayya ya shirya ya zama dandamali ga masu ruwa da tsaki don nazarin ci gaban shirin raba kayan aikin noma ƙarƙashin shirin kawo ci gaba da inganta al'amura na shugaba Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mahalarta taron sun tantance nasarori da ƙalubalen da aka fuskanta a matakin gwaji na farko, inda suka jaddada buƙatar samar da ingantattun kayan aikin noma, ƙara ƙarfafa tsarin da kuma ƙarin tallafi ga ƙananan manoma.
Idan aka kula da wannan sashi, ya zama gwamnati in za ta yi tsare-tsare tana neman masana, to zai taimaka kwarai wajen bayar da hanyoyi da za a magance matsaloli.
Babban nasarar wannan taro shine ya zamanto duk wanda ke da ruwa a tsaki ya faɗi albarkacin bakinsa, saboda na shekara mai zuwa ya zamanto ya fi wannan. Kuma ina ganin wannan is one of the na farko ga tsare-tsaren gwamnati ta kira stakeholders a cikin tsari kafin ta aiwatar da shi.
Jami'an gwamnatin tarayya sun tattauna dabarun da za su inganta gaskiya da ingancin aiki yayin da ake shirin shiga zagaye na biyu na shirin.
Mu zauna da su mutanen da muka yi wannan program din tare da su, mu tabbatar da cewa yadda muka ga problems din haka suke a gona, haka suke on the field. Muna ganin cewa yin haka shi zai ba mu sa'ai mai designing solutions da za su yi addressing wannan issue din.
Ana kallon wannan shiri a matsayin muhimmin mataki na ƙara yawan amfanin gona, tabbatar da wadatar abinci da kuma taimakawa cimma burin ci gaban ƙasa ta hanyar samar da tsarin noma mai ɗorewa da kuma daidaito. Awwal Salisu, labaran NTA.
Masu sana'ar bola jari daga arewa maso yammacin Najeriya sun amfana da tallafin naira miliyan 20 a wani shiri na karfafa aikin sake sarrafa shara. Kirkiran ayyukan yi masu tsafta da bunƙasa tattalin arzikin yankin. Hawa Muktar ta ba da rahoton cewa wannan shiri, wanda kungiyar masu sana'ar bola jari tare da wasu abokan haɗin gwiwa suka aiwatar, wanda shine irinsa na farko a shiyar. Ga rahoton nata.
Daraktocin Rimasap, manyan masu ruwa da tsaki da sarakunan gargajiya da suka hallara a wurin sun amince da yin aiki tare domin tallafawa shirin, tare da yabawa da jajircewar abokan hulɗa da ke da hannu a ciki. Manajan darakta na Rimasap, Muhammad Khalil, ya yaba wa abokan hulɗa bisa jagorantar da suka yi wajen aiwatar da shirin.
Mai da muka sani plastic tana ɗaukar sama da shekara 100 ba tare da ta narke ba, da haka yin wannan abin wato waste pickers kenan da scavenging da ake wannan business din zai taimaka wajen tabbatar da cewa an tsince wannan leda daga environment.
Mun zaɓi Kano ne ganin cewa Kano a jihohin arewa ta fi kowace jiha yawan shara saboda yawan jama'a da take da shi, to sai muka ga mu faro daga Kano. Idan muka yi daga Kano, ina ga zuwa wata mai zuwa za mu ci gaba.
Masu shirye shirin sun bayyana cewa kamfanoni 9 da suka yi rajista sun cancanci samun tallafi, yayin da sama da masu tara shara 500 su ma suka amfana daga shirin.
Cikin mutanenmu da aka rubuta naira 50,000, wanda gaskiya na abin zan yi cewa ba taɓa samun shi ba sai a wannan karan.
Di alasaka da alkhairi wannan abin da suka dau wannan akai, na gode.
Shirin na da nufin ƙarfafa darajar sake sarrafa shara da kuma bunƙasa rayuwa mai ɗorewa a faɗin shiyar. Hauwa Muktar Abdullahi, a labaran NTA.
Yanzu kuma sai rahoton kasuwancin mu na wannan makon.
Yayin da ake samun karuwar masu ababen hawa da ke koma kan babura masu caji saboda arha da karancin kuɗin amfani, buƙatar samun wuraren caji masu inganci na ƙara karuwa. A faɗin jihar Kano ana samun sababbin tashoshin caji da aka tsara a kusa da kasuwanni, makarantu da manyan hanyoyi domin samarwa masu irin waɗannan baburan hawa damar cajin baburansu ba tare da dogaro da wutar gida ba, wadda sau da yawa ke fuskantar tangarɗa.
Caji ne mu wama caji like per hour, muna caji ne daga lokacin da ka kawo zuwa lokacin da zaka zo ka dauka, kuma kuɗi ne kaɗan muke karɓa, ba ma karɓan kuɗi da yawa. 300 ne in tun daga safe kawo zuwa yamma ka zo ka dauka, iya 300 na shi zamu karɓa.
Ga yawancin masu babura masu cajin, rashin daidaiton wutar lantarki babban kalubale ne. Waɗannan tashoshin caji na taimakawa wajen rage wannan matsala ta hanyar samar da wuta mai ɗorewa. Wasu ma suna amfani da hasken rana ko na'urorin ajiyar wuta.
Gaskiya cajin su yana da inganci. In aka caja ma baburin, Allah ya yarda zaka wuni ka duk kilomitar da mashin ɗinka yake abin nan yake ci zaka cinye shi.
Wannan yana tabbatar da cewa masu hawa baburan za su iya ci gaba da cajin baburansu don zirga-zirgar yau da kullum da harkokin kasuwanci, ko da lokacin da aka samu rashin wuta na tsayin lokaci. Nan da wani lokaci a gaba, tashoshin na iya taimakawa wajen inganta amfani da baburan lantarki ga dubban mazauna Kano. Musba Hassan, labaran NTA.
Yanzu kuma sai rahoton hada-hadar kasuwanci. Ga labaran wasanni tare da wakiliyarmu Amina Mahe.
ta samu nasara 2-1 akan Najeriya a wasan da aka gudanar a Cairo yayin da kungiyoyin ke shiri don AFCON. Kungiyoyin NBA sun ci gaba da nuna bajinta a wasannin kakar bana. Carlos Alcaraz da Yannick Sinner sun yi fice yayin da suka raba daukakar manyan gasar Grand Slam. Fitaccen ɗan damben duniya Trace Crawford ya sanar da yin ritaya daga harkar dambe.
Yanzu kuma sai hasashen masana yanayi da ka iya kasancewa a gobe Alhamis. Kafin mu yi sallama, takaitacciyar shawarar masana ta yau na cewa al'umma su rinka kula da lafiyarsu don gujewa cututtuka masu illa. Duka anan muka kawo ƙarshen labaran namu na yau, nake cewa mu kwana lafiya.
Thank you for joining us on NTA Kano News. I am Amin Umar, and now the news. Poor road infrastructure remains a key barrier to development in rural areas, limiting access to markets and reducing returns for farmers. To address this, the Kano State Government has launched multi-billion naira road projects to connect towns and villages across the state. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
The larger parts of rural Kano are dominated by agricultural communities. Many residents engage in year-round farming, which serves as their primary source of livelihood. However, transporting farm produce from rural areas to markets has remained a major challenge. For nearly a decade, communities along the Kura-Kubara-Chimadubi road have endured severe hardship due to an impassable road and the collapse of a bridge over the Chalawa River.
We used canoes to cross the river and to transport our farm produce.
In response, Kano State Government awarded the 14-kilometer road project, with the reconstruction of the collapsed bridge already completed.
A lot of food is being produced in this area, so the relevance of this road to the people is very, very important.
Also awarded is the 70-kilometer Madubiyako Kafumiyaki Kiru Road, which has been in a deplorable condition for many years.
For more than 20 years, we have been suffering from the issue of this activity road. So we thank Allah and we thank His Excellency.
To connect more farming communities, the 23-kilometer road linking Rogo, Bari, Falgore and Mahangi in Katsina State is at advanced stage of construction.
This particular point is in Kafur local government area, and traveling from this community, this part of Katsina State to other parts of Kano State has been difficult thing.
The entire population of Kafro local government area are pleased with Kano state government for this project.
When completed, the roads are expected to reduce post-harvest losses, curb produce glut, and discourage rural-urban migration. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
As part of the renewed hope agenda, the federal government has held a roundtable discussion in Kano to assess the pilot phase of its farm input supply program and plan for the next phase. The meeting brought together key stakeholders to review progress, share lessons, and improve delivery for better farmer support and food security. Awal Salisu reports.
The roundtable discussion, organized by the National Agricultural Development Fund, served as a platform for stakeholders to review the progress of the farm input supply program under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Participants examined the successes and challenges of the pilot phase, highlighting the need for improved access to quality farm inputs, stronger outgrower systems, and enhanced support for smallholder farmers.
Whenever there are issues, the best way to go for a successful delivery is to involve all the stakeholders. Principle of involvement is very important.
It's a government program, so we expect it for it to be sustainable. So the need for us to come together and harness on some of these challenges and see how we can have a better one next year.
Federal government officials discussed strategies to strengthen transparency and operational efficiency as the program transitions into its second phase.
To bring the stakeholders to a round table, hear from them firsthand what the issues are, so we can devise strategies to address those issues, and making sure that in the design of addressing those issues, we are doing it in an inclusive manner.
The initiative is seen as a key intervention to boost agricultural productivity, support food security, and contribute to national development goals through inclusive and sustainable farming systems. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And now, West pickers from the Nigeria's northwest have received a 20 million naira boost through an empowerment program aimed at strengthening recycling, creating green jobs, and advancing the circular economy. Hawa Mukhtar reports that the initiative implemented by the West Pickers Association of Nigeria and other partners is the first of its kind to support and formalize West Pickers through aggregators.
Directors of REMASAP, key stakeholders, and traditional rulers that gathered here all agreed to work towards supporting the initiative, commending the commitment of partners involved. The managing director, REMASAP, Muhammad Khalil, applauded the partners for championing the project.
This is part of the incentive that will motivate the operations of the West Pickers in Kano State, and as we all know, their operation align with the mandate and functions of REMASAP, that is keeping Kano clean.
We share this money to them. As you can see, we share more than 21 million today, and hopefully from now to December 2026 we'll share more than 250 to 300 million.
Organizers revealed that 9 registered companies qualified for incentives, while more than 500 waste aggregators also benefited from the program.
This is a welcome development in the circular economy sector, particularly the plastic recycling sector, because we are happy to witness such an event.
It's very, very important, and I'm very, very happy to join this ministry.
To receive money and the gift that they used to give to me is helping me and my family, and that is why I'm here.
The initiative aims to strengthen the recycling value chain and promote sustainable livelihood across the region. Hawa Mukhtar Abdullahi, NTA News.
You are watching the news on NTA Kano, and there will be more reports after this time out.
My workaholic son.
Mama.
I wanted to thank you for the solar inverter. In fact, my friends want to say thank you.
When you told me about that massive solar savings,
They all went to buy their own Sun King solar product.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you like your Sun King solar inverter, but I have one more gift for you. Surprise!
Switch to more precious moments.
Welcome back. This is Nta Kano News. Electric bike charging stations are gradually springing up across Kano metropolis, signaling an evolving transport landscape in the city as operators and commuters embrace cleaner and more cost-effective mobility options. Musbah Hassan examines the business opportunities presented by the charging stations as well as the challenges confronting operators in the emerging sector.
As more riders turn to electric bikes because of their affordability and low running costs, the demand for dependable charging points continues to rise. Across Kano, new charging stations strategically located near markets, campuses, and busy junctions are providing riders with convenient alternatives to home charging, which is often affected by erratic power supply.
The process we do in charging our bikes is that when you bring your bike, we take your key. If we take your key, we have a pass we hand to you. So when we hand you the pass, there is a number on it, so we put the number on your bike and also on your key. So when you bring back the pass, we hand you your key and you can take your bike. So we charge from morning till evening. We charge just 300 naira per charge.
For many electric bike owners, unstable electricity remains a major challenge. The charging stations are helping to close this gap by offering more reliable access to power, with some facilities supported by solar energy or backup systems. Honestly, their charge is excellent. You can ride throughout the day without losing much charge.
We want to expand the charging station in Kano because most of the people that try to buy the bike, they are looking where they can charge their bike nearby. They are making their own businesses. You understand? That is why we want to expand it.
This ensures riders can keep their bikes charged for daily commuting and commercial activities, even during prolonged power outages. In the long run, the stations could make electric mobility more practical and dependable for thousands of residents across Kano. Musbah Hassan, NTA News.
And now, business update. And from the sporting cycle, a few days to the 2026 AFCON Super Eagles captain Ahmad Musa has announced his retirement from the international sports. And for more on the sports cycle, here is our correspondent Amina Mahe.
Egypt secures a 2-1 win against Nigeria in a pre-tournament friendly in Cairo as teams prepare for AFCON action. Basketball NBA teams showcase strong performance in regular season games. Alcaraz and Sina shines as top stars share the Grand Slam spotlight. legendary boxer Trace Crawford announces retirement.
And now a look at tomorrow's weather forecast in Kano and some selected cities. And that was the news. Thank you for watching. I am Amin Umar.
Away from the northern culture, things that have tendency to demand a lot of financial resources have been injected into wedding.
Somehow we now focus more on the wedding. Before the marriage, you have the mother's night. I don't know if there's the father's night. I know there's the Arabian night. I know there is a lot of activities. Bachelor's night, bachelor's eve, sprints, a lot of them. Wallahi, a lot. And you know, it's burden. You need the hall, you need refreshment, you need to organize, you need to manage a lot of people, and a lot of money go.
By implication, these expenses impacted strongly on all classes of people.
That is why you have many able men and women not married, and they want to get married. But these additional appendage being placed on weddings have made it inaccessible.
If you look at the amount of money that people are spending on such activities is huge. And as well, the type of things that the groom is taking to the bride's house, if you look at, if they are showing all those things, you see that the life is getting another thing entirely.
Many people believe that the intrusion of these new cultures has overall implications on the survival of most marriages being contracted today.
I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store.
Normally, you know, before, all these things, they are not in our culture. Like here, yes, like here now. Nobody is even supposed to see the bride safe. But now the brides are even coming out, even they dance together with the in-laws in public together, and nobody is looking at that as anything. Understand? And even wearing a wedding gown, which is not part of our culture.